The Gilded Age was a time of sweeping changes. From roughly 1870 to 1900, the United States transformed from a largely agrarian society of farmers and small producers to an industrial economy based in large cities. During those few short decades, there was also an explosion of innovation in the fields of engineering, chemistry, and technology, which brought us some of the modern world's most groundbreaking inventions. 1. Telephone, 1876. Antonio Meucci, an Italian inventor, showed a talking telegraph, dubbed the teletrofono, in 1860. Meucci, who had relocated to the US, fell on hard feet and couldn't renew his device's temporary patent, which expired in 1874. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray raced to patent the telephone design. Bell's lawyers filed his patent application hours before Gray on February 14, 1876, according to Patent Office records. Gray and Meucci sued Bell for stealing their concept, but the Scottish inventor, who fought hundreds of judicial challenges to his patent, retained exclusive credit. 2. Phonograph, 1878. The phonograph, the first sound recording device, made Thomas Edison the Gilded Age's most famous inventor. Edison built a system in the 1870s that recorded telegraph messages by indenting a tape scroll with the telegraph's electrical impulses. Edison aimed higher. He recorded telephone calls like telegrams to capitalize on Bell's popularity. Edison used a flexible diaphragm to collect sound waves and etch them into paraffin wax with a needle-like embossing tip. Edison eurecade when his primitive prototype functioned. This revolutionary device didn't need a phone. It can record and play music, audiobooks, language courses, and more. Edison developed the design and tested recording media in the summer of 1877, adopting a spinning metal cylinder coated with aluminum foil. He founded the Edison Speaking Phonograph Company a month after patenting the phonograph on February 19, 1878. Edison's phonograph inspired the gramophone and started the music recording industry, despite its commercial failure. 3. Incandescent light bulb, 1879. Edison pursued a practical, long-lasting light bulb after the phonograph. The first incandescent arc lamps were shown in 1803, but decades of effort failed to produce a filament material that would glow for hours without overheating, blackening the bulb, or burning out. Edison and his team tested thousands of filament materials at his new research laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey, following his motto: "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Edison patented his 14.5-hour light bulb using a carbonized cotton thread filament in 1879. Edison's bamboo filament light bulbs lasted 1,200 hours. Edison designed the first metropolitan electric grid in New York City, comprising a power-producing facility and central power station, after inventing the first commercially effective light bulbs. 4. Automobile, 1886. In 1886, Carl Benz patented the first gas-powered automobile, the three-wheeled patent motor car No. 1, the internal combustion engine. A lighter alternative to steam engines powering trains and ships, was the result of decades of European experimentation. Before Benz, gas-powered engines were mounted to wheeled vehicles, but they failed. Benz debuted his patent motor car No. 1 during the bicycle craze, when people wanted lightweight, self-propelled cars. The original tricycle-shaped Benz was powered by a 4-stroke, 0.75 horsepower engine that could reach less than 10 miles per hour. It had 3 steel-spoked wooden wheels, thin rubber tires, leather-padded brakes, and a crank-operated vertical steering column. In 1888, Bertha Benz accompanied their 2 teenage sons on the first long-distance vehicle trip, a 121-mile round trip to her mother's house, to promote the patent motor car's 3rd model. 5. Kodak camera, 1888. When George Eastman was born in 1854, photography was decades old, but his 1888 Kodak camera gave ordinary people the power of photography. Before Eastman's discovery, enormous, expensive cameras used fragile glass plates that could only be developed by professionals. The $25 portable Kodak camera came with a 100 exposure roll of flexible paper film. After years of battles with the inventor, they switched to celluloid. Kodak owners directed the lightweight box towards their subject, pressed the shutter button, and wound the film roll. They sent the camera to Kodak after the film. 100 prints, negatives, and a new roll of film cost $10. The Kodak motto was "You press the button, we do the rest." The Kodak camera's circular images of daily life made photography pleasant and casual. 6. Electric streetcars, 1888. Horse-drawn streetcars and trolleys began urban mass transit in the US and Europe in the 1830s. In 1881, Werner von Siemens built the first electric streetcar in Berlin suburbs. The streetcar's overhead cable-powered 10-horsepower motor could carry 50 people at 12 miles per hour. Siemens wanted an elevated electric streetcar line in Berlin, but Frank Sprague built the first full-scale electric trolley system in Richmond, Virginia in 1888. The Richmond Union Passenger Railway inspired over 110 electric tram systems globally in the late 1880s and early 1890s. Sprague's overhead electrical connections and central generators convinced skeptics that electric trolleys were safe and effective. Homes and businesses erected along streetcar lines provided easy access to downtown amenities from a ring of suburbs, changing city layouts. 7. Airplane, 1903. Wilbur and Orville Wright, two bachelor brothers from Dayton, Ohio, were improbable world changers. However, the Wright brothers were visionary engineers preoccupied with becoming the first to fly. The Wright brothers expanded on glider experiments by Smithsonian Institution Secretary Samuel Langley and Otto Lilienthal, who died in a glider crash. The Wright brothers erected wind tunnels in their Dayton bicycle shop to test dozens of wing designs to maximize lift and control. Next, they created full-scale glider prototypes and took them to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, where the winds are strong and steady. They developed, tested, and crashed larger gliders for 2 years that may potentially hold an engine powerful enough to turn two enormous wooden propeller blades. Orville Wright lay on his stomach near to the Flyer engine on December 17, 1903. Orville and his Flyer took off after rolling 45 feet down a small track as the propellers built up speed. He gracefully landed the Flyer 120 feet from its start after 12 seconds. The Wright brothers took years to prove their feat, but manned, powered flight ushered in a new era of transportation.